Welcome to the video tutorial completing a performance review for individual contributors in nursing roles. In this tutorial, you will learn how to access and complete a performance review in My Performance, our new performance review system. To get started, access My Performance by visiting the UC Learning Center. There are various ways to access the Learning Center. When in doubt, type in the following address in your internet browser: www.uclearning.ucsd.edu. Use your Active Directory login and password credentials to gain access. To access staff performance reviews, first click on the timeline icon at the upper right-hand corner of your screen. Once the timeline opens, click on the Tasks tab and locate the task Manager Additional Perspectives for the selected employee. Notice the due date and make sure to complete on time. To get started, click on the blue Go button to the right of the task. The performance review has two steps, illustrated by the two middle chevrons at the top of your page: Manager Additional Perspectives and Manager Assessment and Discussion. The white chevron denotes the current step that is being completed, Manager Additional Perspectives. In this step, you will have the opportunity to identify individuals whom you would like to request feedback from relating to this employee's performance. The Additional Perspective step includes 5 sections: Overview, Continuous Feedback, Additional Perspectives, CN3 and 4 Maintenance Criteria, and Attachments. The Overview page provides background information and instructions. Throughout the form, you can track your completion via the progress bar at the upper right-hand corner of your screen. Your work is saved automatically every 2 minutes, at which point you will see a Save pop-up message. If you need to pause your work and return later, make sure to click the Save button before leaving. Exiting the form without clicking Save will only ensure entries made up until the last autosave. To get started, click on the Continuous Feedback tab. The Continuous Feedback tab will show any positive recognition submitted about the employee or any one-to-one journal entries made between you and the employee throughout the year. There is no action to take on this tab. Simply review any available feedback, as this may help inform who you would like to solicit feedback from. Next, click on Additional Perspectives. To ask for additional perspectives on the employee's performance, first enter a due date for their feedback. Click on the button with 3 dots to the right of the due date field and select a date. Remember to choose a date that will allow you enough time to review the feedback and use it to inform your ratings in the performance review. Next, click on the magnifying glass to the right of the name field. Type in the name in the search field and hit Enter. Click on the employee's name you would like to add. Click on the Relationship drop-down field and make a selection. To finalize your entry, click on the blue Add button to the right. When you have added all desired raters, click on the Attestation checkbox at the bottom of the page. Note that the Additional Perspectives process is not required in order to complete a performance review. If you choose to bypass this process, please confirm your decision by clicking the Attestation checkbox. This is a required field for this form. For additional guidance on how to select feedback raters, click on the word Resources on the upper right-hand corner of your screen and download the guide, Frequently Asked Questions about the Additional Perspectives step. Next, click on CN3 and 4 Maintenance Criteria tab. The CN3 and 4 Maintenance Criteria tab only applies to those seeking that designation. If this does not apply to the person you are reviewing, no action is needed on this tab. If this tab is applicable to the employee you are reviewing, scroll to each of the 7 criteria sections and review the employee's entries for the points and supporting comments in the fulfillment box. Guidance on points assignment can be found to the right of each criteria. At the bottom of the page, review the total points entered by the employee and any comments entered. As a reminder, this section applies only to employees seeking the CN3 and 4 designation. If you have questions about the points or fulfillment comments entered, you can send the form back to the employee for suggested changes. Make sure to include a note on the reason for the sendback, as well as the due date for submission. Alternatively, you can have a conversation with the employee and enter agreed upon changes in this form yourself. Lastly, please note that once an entry is begun in either a point or comment field, the section will become required and you will receive an error message upon submission if not completed. If an entry was made by accident, simply enter NA in order for the form to be submitted. Next, let's explore the Attachments tab. The Attachments tab will allow you to see what attachments, if any, your employee uploaded to their self-evaluation. You can open any attachment by clicking on the link. No action is needed on this tab. Once you have reviewed all form tabs, you're ready to submit. Please note that submitting this task will send feedback forms to feedback raters. It will also allow you to begin writing the performance review. If you need to add additional raters, you will need to return to this step. We'll cover that in the next evaluation step, Manager Assessment and Discussion. To submit, click on Save, and then click Submit. You will receive a confirmation pop-up message. Click Yes. You will then see a system confirmation validating completion of this task. Click Return to Home. To begin the employee's performance review, click on your timeline at the upper right-hand corner of your screen. When your timeline opens, click on Tasks and locate the task Manager Assessment and Discussion for the selected employee. Notice the due date and make sure to complete on time. To get started, click on the blue Go button to the right of the task. You will be brought to the first page of the employee performance evaluation. Notice through the white chevron at the top of your page the current step you are in the process, Manager Assessment and Discussion. The evaluation form has several tabs, the first of which provides you with background information and instructions. Some of the tabs you will have already reviewed and may not need action at this point in the process. Throughout the form, you can track your completion via the progress bar at the upper right-hand corner of your screen. Your work is saved automatically every 2 minutes, at which point you will see a Save pop-up message. If you need to pause your work for any reason and return to it later, make sure to click the Save button before leaving. Exiting the form without clicking Save will only ensure entries made up until the last autosave. To get started, click on the Continuous Feedback tab. The Continuous Feedback tab will show any positive recognition submitted about the employee or any one-to-one journal entries made between you and the employee throughout the year. There is no action needed on this tab. Simply review any available feedback, as this will help inform your ratings and supporting comments. Next, click on Additional Perspectives. This tab will show any feedback provided about the employee. To see provided feedback, click on the button on the lower left-hand side of your screen. Click here to view provided feedback. Notice that you will see how each rater rated each particular competency, as well as any comments. Next, click on Practice Competency. In this page, you will assign one rating to the employee's overall practice competency, which is defined by their job description. To assign a rating, click on the Expand All button and scroll to the bottom. Click on the Manager Rating drop-down and make a selection. Notice that you can see the employee's self-evaluation score and potential comments on the left-hand side. Manager comments are optional but highly encouraged. To help guide your rating selection, review the rating scale descriptions above the drop-down. Finally, click on the appropriate radio button under the Manager Attestation Statement. Both the rating and attestation statement are required for form submission. Scroll back up to the top of the page and click on CN3 and 4 Maintenance Criteria. The CN3 and 4 Maintenance Criteria tab only applies to those seeking that designation. If this does not apply to the person you are reviewing, no action is needed on this tab. If this section applies to the employee you are reviewing, scroll through the form and review the points and fulfillment comments entered by the employee in each of the 7 criteria. Guidance on point assignment can be found to the right of each criteria. At the bottom of the page, you will see a total points section and final comments. If you have questions about the points entered or fulfillment comments, you can send the form back to the employee for suggested changes. Simply click on the Send Back button. Make sure to include a note on the reason for the send back, as well as the due date for final submission. Alternatively, you can have a conversation with the employee and enter agreed upon changes in this form yourself. Lastly, please note that once an entry is begun in either a points box or a comment field, the section will become required and you will receive an error message upon submission if not completed. If an entry was made by accident, simply enter NA in order for the form to be submitted. Next, click on the Core Competencies tab. In this page, you will assign one rating to each of the 7 core competencies and optionally provide supporting comments. To assign a rating, simply click on the Manager drop-down field to the right of each competency and make a selection. Notice the employee self-evaluation scores to the left. To access the comments section and review the employee's comments, plus competency definitions and examples, click on each of the blue competency titles. Here you will see the employee self-evaluation comments, if they offered any, as well as the manager comments box. Again, comments are optional but strongly encouraged. To collapse the information, simply click on the blue competency title again. This will make navigating the page easier and quicker. When finished rating each competency, scroll to the top of the page and click on Summary with Overall Ratings. This page will show your combined ratings for both core competencies and practice competency. Review your scores for accuracy and notice the employee self-evaluation scores to the left of yours. The final score is the manager calculated form rating. If the final score is leading performance or inconsistent performance, enter supporting comments in the manager's year-end comment box. Next, click on Employee Goals. The Goals page is optional. If you would like to document goals from the previous year, you may enter them here. Next, let's explore the Attachments tab. Review any attachments provided by the employee here. You can download the attachment by clicking on any blue link. You can also add attachments yourself. Simply click Choose File, select your document, and click Open. To upload the document, click on the blue Add button. Please note that there is a file capacity of 1 megabyte or smaller. Finally, click on the Electronic Signature tab. You are now ready to finalize and send the evaluation to the employee for signature. It is recommended that you submit only after you have delivered the review in a performance conversation. You can do this easily by clicking Save and returning to the form when you are ready to submit. To sign the evaluation, click the Sign button. This will automatically populate your name and today's date. Review and check both of the manager attestation statements. Make any final comments if necessary. Final comments are optional but also highly encouraged. When you are ready to submit, click Save and then click Submit. Click Yes on the confirmation statement. You will receive another confirmation statement verifying you have completed the task. Click Return to Home. Once the employee signs their review, the process is complete. Evaluations not signed by the given process due date will be automatically routed to completion at that time. Click on Resources at the upper right-hand corner of this screen to download a step-by-step job aid for this tutorial. Please also visit the My Performance website, where you will find a listing of all available training resources aimed at helping you navigate the new My Performance system, as well as preparing for performance evaluation discussions. To visit the My Performance website, open a web browser and type in pulse.ucsd.edu/myperformance. If you have a specific question about this or any My Performance topic, let us know via the Health HR website at www.hr.ucsd.edu. Type in My Performance in the search bar and select Performance Appraisal Inquiry. Once on the inquiry page, under the question, "What would you like to do today?" select Get Assistance with My Performance. Thank you for watching the video tutorial Completing a Performance Review for Individual Contributors in Nursing Roles.